A tutorial by Learn Fast Studios.
Welcome back, guys. In this session, let us try to learn how to perform addition of the two numbers by taking the input from the keyboard. In order to perform this program, we are using IDLE, which is an integrated development learning environment which is provided by the Python itself. In order to open that IDLE, since I am using the Mac operating system, I will be using command and spacebar and try to press IDLE. If at all, if you are a Windows user, go to the programs and there search for this IDLE application and you click on that. Once you open an IDLE environment, it will be looking like this. And now let us try to let us try to see how we can read a value from the console. In order to read the value from the console, we will be using a function, or in the Python you call it as a method. In the Python we will be using a method called as an input. So let us store the value whatever that we read in some variable. Let me take the value a equal to input of, now whatever the prompt that you want to display, you can display. So now enter value for a. Now after you execute this script, it is prompting me to enter some value which can be stored in A. Now let me say hello. Let us try to see what is the value that gets stored in A. In order to display the contents of A, we can make use of the either two ways. One is you can use print, or you can directly use that variable name and press enter. And in order to see what is the type of the value that you stored in A, you can make use of one more method, which is nothing but the type. Type will specify what is the type of the value that is stored in any given object. In the Python, all the memory allocations are done dynamically, so that is why it is a dynamically typed programming language. Once the memory allocation is done, the reference is stored in the variable name. Now here in the object A. Now let us try to see what is the type of the value that is stored in A. So it is saying you have stored the value of the type string. But suppose you want to read the value in the integer format, then you need to use one of the type converter, which is nothing but the int. So suppose I want to read the value into num1. Num1 equal to int of input enter num1. So what is happening here? First, it will prompt for enter num1. Whatever the value that you read, it will read in the format of the string, and then this int method will take that string as an argument, convert that into an integer format and stores it in the num. Let us see what will happen when you press enter. Now it is prompting me to enter a value for num1. Let me enter the value 10 and let us see what is the type of the value that gets stored. Type of num1. Previously it used to be string format, but now since we use this converter, Hence, the string is converted into the integer and the value of the integer equivalent gets stored in num1. Similarly, let us try to read the num2. Now it is your turn. You can tell me how to read the num2. In order to read, yes, num2 equal to, in order to prompt, you need to use method input of enter num2, and then you need to enclose this whole string value in int method. This int method takes whatever the object that you pass as an argument, and that will convert that object equivalent value to the integer and stores it in num2. Now let me say I want to enter the value 20. Now the value 10 is get stored in num1, value 20 is get stored in num2. Now let us try to perform addition of these two numbers. In order to store the result, let us take one more variable, result equal to. For performing the addition, we need to use one of the operator, which is nothing but the plus operator. Plus is a special character that can be used as an arithmetic operator in arithmetic expressions. Now let me add num1 plus num2. So we need to use this special character plus in between two of the operands. First operand is num1, second operand is num2, and the resultant value you will be storing that in result variable. Now after successful execution of this statement, the sum of num1 and the num2 will be stored in the variable result. Now in order to print that result, use print method, print of res, and here comes the output, that is 30. So hence we have successfully wrote Python script in order to read the input from the keyboard, and then in order to perform the addition and then display the result. Let us try to write down the same code like your C language structured program. In order to write the code like that, you need to use file, new, an empty text editor is now appeared. Here you need to enter the code. So let me write down a variable, let me say balance equal to, in order to prompt we use input enter balance, and whatever the balance that you entered will be written in the string format, but my intention is to convert that into integer. Hence I have to use int method and pass this whole string as an argument to that. That's all. After successful execution, we could able to get an integer value that is prompted from the keyboard, that you have entered at the keyboard prompt to balance. Similarly, let us include the deposit amount equal to int of the same way, input enter deposit amount. Done. After you read the deposit amount, now the final amount is the sum of both the balance as well as an deposit amount. So hence the final balance equal to balance plus deposit amount. Whatever the value that you entered into the balance, will be added to the value that you have entered in deposit amount, and the sum will be stored in the final balance. Finally, let us try to display the balance in your account. In order to display that, we will be using the print method. Balance in the account is comma. Now you want to use that variable name, so final balance. That's it. So we have successfully completed writing down the script. Now the next step is to save this file. So go to file, save. Let me say this is deposit.py. Now what we need to do is you need to execute this code, Python script. So in order to execute this Python script, you can use this run method and then run module. Otherwise you can also use function F5. This operation is same both in the Windows as well as in MacBook. Just click on the run module. Now it is asking me to enter the balance. Let me say I have in my account I have 500 rupees and I would like to deposit an amount 100 rupees. Now the final balance will be after depositing, the final balance will be 600 rupees. So this is my program. That's it, guys. So in this session we learned how to read a value from the keyboard and then how to perform arithmetic operation over the variables. In this session we have learned two of the new methods. One is an input method which prompts a message and then reads the data from the keyboard in the string format, and another method which is an int method. This int method will take an object as an argument and then convert that object to the integer format and stores it and returns an integer value. So that is agenda for today's session. That's all. Thank you.